Testing one, two. Okay. Hey, Billy Dorsey, how you doing, sir? Thank you so much. Can you hear me okay? Because I don't know what I'm doing yet. This is my first time on here. Uh, can you hear me, Billy? Just type something in yes or no. Okay, good, great, great, great. I see it says about it. It says there's about 6 people here. Right now, just trying to see. Oh, hey, hey, Antonio Smith, Christopher Ward. Oh man, I'm seeing some names I see on the comments a lot. Uh-oh, Mr. Butler. I got another Mr. Butler here. What's going on? Um, Carl Zipline fan. What's going on, sir? How you doing? How you doing? All right. I'm here. I'm so man. I'm so happy. I was like, I was wondering. I'm like, is anybody going to even show up? So this is good. This is good. Glad you're doing great. Glad you're doing great. What's going on, Mr. Butler? Iraniel 146, aka my cousin from another mother and father, I guess, because we have the same last name, but we probably are family, but it's all good. Thanks, Uranial. I'm glad to do this too. I said, let me just try it and see if people, would tune in. Um, Supposed to start at 7 o'clock. Well, it's 7 o'clock now. From the Bronx, what's going on, John Sawyer? How you doing, sir? How you doing? From the Bronx, the boogie down, right, as they say. Well, I'm from Baltimore, and I'll leave that alone. Do you know even Evan Tube HD? I do not know them personally. What happened is I did a what was it? I did a piano tutorial for the Toys R Us song. I don't want to grow up. That song, and they saw it. I think it was his father saw it, and they contacted me and asked if I would do just play a piano track for them. And that's all, and I was like, sure. And that's what's up with that. So I don't know that I haven't talked to them since we've done that, but cool people, cool channel. I don't know them personally though. Oh, my niece and nephew is here. At least I see my niece name on here, Miss KMJ Bear. What's going on, Kelsey? All right, all right. Let me make sure see if I missed anybody. Okay, I can hear you as well. Oh, thank you, Mr. Mosley. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome for the tutorials, man. I had no idea when I started these tutorials that it was gonna really become a big thing like this. So this is great. I'm feeling wow, 14 people in here already. I'm like, wow, okay. Did you get my donation and request? Mandatorial. I can't really check that right this second, but feel free to send me an email. Let me type in my email address. Just email me so that when I'm finished doing this, because let me tell y'all what happens when you send in a request. A lot of times, the name that shows up on the PayPal is not your YouTube name. So if I don't know who you are, I'm like, well, I had some requests, but I can't tell you whether or not it's you. If I got your particular one, because I'm like, I'm looking at your name says one thing on YouTube and then it's a totally different name. So there go my email address right there, House of Jazz with 1Z, of course, at yahoo.com. Just hit me up there when I'm finished the stream. I'll respond to you. Thanks, Chris. I'm glad I was able to do this too, Christopher. Tina Marie, Portuguese love. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was someone made a request for that one, yes, and I wasn't really familiar with that tune, but man, once I heard it, I was like, I think it was Gary Bailey. I don't know if I haven't seen him comment yet. It's funny they don't show you the name of the people who in here. If you don't say anything in the chat, then they don't show you who's actually in here. Or do they? Let me hold up. Yeah, this is my first time. Maybe I can see it. I don't know. I'm just checking to see participants. Oh, okay. Yes, I can. Okay, I can click over and see who's in here. Okay. So Antonio Smith, Billy Dorsey, Carl Zipline fan, Christopher Ward, Iranio, of course, House of Jazz is here, John Sawyer, KMJ Bear, Making Magic 36 Mandatorial, and Mr. Mosley 444. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much. I'm getting ready to for those who don't know, if you are a part of my Patreon community, I think it was I don't know if it was like Sunday or Monday, something like that. Made a post saying that I was going to do this live stream, and I allowed the Patreon people, if you're on my Patreon, I said you could ask a question and I would, do a Q&A. So I did have a few people from the Patreon community uh throw in some questions at me. So I'm going to get started with that in like the next minute or two. And then um I had my extended family, so I had my niece and nephew throw in some questions. And then you got my homeboy Shades Michaels. Y'all might remember he was the one that interviewed me on my channel when I started doing that interview series. So I have about 14 questions here, and once I get through these questions, we probably will still have some time, time for more questions. So after I get through these questions, you can start posting some questions right here in the chat. And as long as they're appropriate, I'll answer it. Doesn't have to always be about music. Some of these questions are just stuff about like what's my favorite this, what's my favorite that. You know what I'm saying? So just so y'all know, my finger right here. Some of y'all may have seen the video. I changed it, rewrapped it and everything. It's okay. Like I said, it was just a procedure that was done on it because I guess my fingernail got inside or whatever, cut something. I don't know, and it got infected or whatever. So that's all it was. It's just that it was it was really starting to hurt, and I mean it was horrible. And I thought maybe if I waited, wait long enough, it might, drain itself. What? Nah, it wasn't draining itself. Trust me. I was like, so that's all that happened right there. So it's just painful, but I can. Yeah, last night was the first time I tried to play the piano a little bit, and I this is my ring finger on my left hand, so I can pretty much with my left hand as long as I'm using my thumb and pinky, and maybe sometimes my pointing finger, I can still play some. You know what I'm saying? It's not, most chords I can play without that finger. So, and I have to learn how to do it because I have to play at church in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So, I gotta figure out how to do this. Can y'all hear the piano? Okay. Let me scroll back over into chat before I start answering the questions. Hold on. My grandfather's birthday is December 30th. Okay, Carl Zipline, December 30th. Well, oh, hold on. I didn't see the first part of your hold up, the first part you said. I watched you watched the Toys R Us song already, and it's funny. And then you said your favorite part is when he does the squeal on 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh, there's a squeal? And it made you laugh. Oh, you're talking about Evan's video. Right. Okay. I know you're talking about. Yeah, you have not my video. I didn't do a squeal. I got you. You talking about Evan. I got you. um Let me just make sure I got everybody. And Carl, happy early birthday to your grandfather, man. Um, I see the guitar production is here. That's somebody. Where have you been lately, man? I've been uploading videos, man. What you talking about? I uploaded a video earlier today of my daughter in music, Miss Lyric Alexa, And I had to slow down a little bit because I'm working again. I do work a full-time job, and just checking my phone, making sure I got everything. Okay, yeah, so but I'm here. I'm still here. I can't do as much as I can because it's just so, a lot to do. So a lot to do. Okay, I do Disney car music and more kinds. Okay, Carl, I see you, Carl. I hear you, man. My uncle is smooth. That must be Mr. CJ Music Man. I keep telling him he might be 11 years old, but I want to be like him when I grow up. All right, Terrence Brown, prayers for the recovery of your finger. But a question I have is Brian McKnight songs. Is what Brian McKnight songs do you know? Off the top of my head, probably none, but that doesn't mean I can't learn them. So this is off the top of my head. I'm like, yo, first son's motif, yo, he's in the place. I don't know if y'all been checking out that man's channel, man. He's been, matter of fact, I see that he just uploaded something recently, like whether it was in the last hour or two. But he did that dude be playing some keys. I be listening to him like, yo, I need to like take some lessons from you. You know what I'm saying? Uh, hey, sir, hope your finger gets better. Thank you so much, man. Akio, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Mitchell Wallace, I'm glad. Whoa, this thing is moving fast. Okay, I'm glad you're okay. Please play some enchantment. Okay, I'm not familiar. A lot of times, I might not be familiar with a group or song, but it doesn't mean I can't learn it. Can you play "A House Is Not a Home" by Luther Vandross? Oh man, y'all asked me to play these songs. Y'all know I'm down one finger, man. What's going on? It's supposed to be a Q and A. Maybe I'll play a song. It might not be that song, but I'll play something. Did you ever get a donation for My First Love? Yes, I do remember getting a donation for My First Love. So yes, definitely, definitely. I'm still trying to play catch up with my donations requests. So I would like to learn "Love Me in a Special Way," El DeBarge. Man, that is a beautiful song. Man, people putting up their request up here. All right, well, all right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So again, these are questions that was posted from the Patreon community, and I'm just gonna go ahead on and get started. The first question came is from Odell Weber, and it said, "What started you to be a piano player?" And that's funny that that was the very first question that came up too. It wasn't like I reorganized or rearranged the questions, but that's a good question. What started me to be a piano player? Well, if you saw I'm gonna go back just a little teeny bit. If you saw the video that I did a tutorial on LL Cool J's "Around the Way Girl." I just did it 2 3 days ago. Um, might was 4 or 5 days ago. I don't know, but it was last week. Last week, um, I had started rapping it after I finished the song. I don't even know if I remember how to play it, but what was it? I need a roundaway girl, something like that. Well, anyway, after I played it, I was like, I need a girl with extensions in her hair, bamboo earrings, at least two. Okay, right. And after I said that, I said, y'all didn't know I used to be a rapper back, and I said I never said I was a good rapper. I just said I used to be a rapper. Well, um, that's the truth. When I was a little kid, you have to understand who was out. When I was, okay, I was born in '77, so by the time I'm 87, I'm 10 years old. By 1990, I'm 13 years old, right? Who was hot back then? Crisscross, right? And then Michael Bivins had Boys to Men, ABC, BBD. Well, Boys to Men, they were, probably, they're a few years older than me, but ABC, Another Bad Creation, they were also, they were like my age. It was like 8 9. I think the oldest one was like 12 or 13. So of course, what did I see on TV? Young rappers, right? Young people trying to sing to you because the boys was out too. I love the group The Boys. Down my heart. Yo, I mean, y'all remember Down My Heart. But anyway, so yeah, so that's what I thought I was gonna be a rapper. My friends and I think I was in middle school at the time, and I've even performed. The first time I ever performed anywhere at a gig was as a rapper. Now I'm gonna say this again. I never said I was good. All right, never said I was good. I just said I was a rapper, and I have performed as a rapper. But anyway, fast forward to high school, and I was in the homeroom class that I was in had a lot of people from the music careers. So they were either in band or they were in the choir, and I always was like, and wish trying to sing or whatever. I wasn't a singer like that or anything, but being around them made me was like, wow, they would sing some, people from the choir would sing and they'll start harmonizing. And back then you had Boys to Men, you had Shy. Shy just came out with ooh na na do do do. And it's a lot of groups, Silk and all of them started. Jodeci came out and everything. And I was just like, they would start singing these songs. And I'm like, how do y'all do this? I want to be a part of this. So they say you need to go ahead on and audition for the choir because I would sing a couple of lines and they said, "Oh man, you got a nice voice. You should join the choir. Just be on the choir with us." So I was too scared and I didn't do it. In my freshman year I didn't do it, but at the end of the freshman year, a couple of them convinced me to do it. Long story short, I did audition for the choir. So my 10th grade year, I was in music careers. I was in the choir. Now I'm in the choir and I'm like, wow, okay, so I'm gonna learn how to sing like them. And now I'm seeing people from the choir that can go up to the piano and play the piano. And I'm like, wow, how y'all learn to do that? Man, that sounds good. And I mean, even in like, I'm not going to throw a bunch of names because there are some people, a couple of people from Baltimore that's made it big in the last 20, 25 years. I went to high school with one of the people, one of the people from the group that was, popular from here. And so he was one of the people. This is before he signed any record contract. He had the piano playing and all the girls, circling around him, and he's singing and playing. This dude, no, this dude's his name was Marlon. Marlon. Oh, when I talking about could play the piano, it's another guy that he would just he wasn't like he would sing baritone and bass in the choir, but dude could play. Girls all around him, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, I want to learn how to do that. So I just started, I would touch the keyboard like, okay, what's this? What does this mean? And in high school, I learned because I was in music theory, I had to take a in the music department. I was in music careers, is what they call. I had to take music theory and stuff like that, and that's when I started learning the treble clef. Every good boy does fine, FACE, and then the bass clef. Good boys do fine always, and all cars eat gas or whatever. They got so many different things you can use, and started learning all this stuff, and then I was trying to figure out. I begged my father to get me a keyboard. I said I want to teach myself how to play the piano, and he was like, I ain't spending all that money for some keyboard just for you to play it one or two times, and then you don't. I'm like, no, 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 Dad. I want no. I'm gonna teach myself how to play. I want to teach myself. I ain't doing it. Another long story short, my mother was like, "Look, that boy don't hardly ask you for anything. He gets straight A's. He does everything he's supposed to do. What is the problem with just investing in a little keyboard? He didn't say you had to be the most." Okay, so she convinced him. He buys this keyboard. Got myself a little Casio, little small little Casio thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, ah, yeah. I'm like, what does this do? I'm just playing everything right. Like, oh yeah, that sounds good, even though it didn't sound good. But anyway, eventually I had a friend of mine that came. Now he wasn't like a musician, but his mother made him take lessons when he was a kid. And he was probably, I think he's like maybe 10 years older than me. He was from my church at the time. And he was the one that told me, he said, that stuff you said you learned about every good boy does fine, FACE and all that stuff. He said, he showed me how to take that and use it to match it on the piano. Like, well, if this note is on the third line on the treble clef, that means B, right? So you find B on here and you play B. Okay. And I'm sitting there like, oh. So then he wound up getting me On Bended Knee by Boys to Men, the sheet music, for Christmas. He got, and because that song came out in '94. So we're in '94 now. I'm in high school. This is, I guess, my sophomore year now, because 92, 93. Yeah, so this is my sophomore year. But Boys and Men come out. He gets me that sheet music, and I literally sit down and I will look at the sheet music and be like, okay, this says E flat, and on my left it says, and I'll go. Now, mind you, there's no YouTube back then, so it's not like you could just turn on a YouTube video and just, like these piano tutorials that I'm doing and other people who greater than me that's doing. We had none of this. We had no internet, so I just had to just sit down and just like, okay, um, looking, and then eventually it started sounding like this. And the rest is history. Now, how long did it take for me to be able to play it like that? It probably was at least 3 months, 3 or more months before I was able to really go through each page. And of course, I had to memorize it because, yeah, I was reading sheet music, but I was reading it one note at a time. So obviously, I was going to when I learned something, I had to memorize it. So that's what got me started to be a piano player. And then from there, um, the rest is history. You know what I'm saying? So, I know that was a long answer. But anyway, okay. Question number two: what material would I recommend for theory slash chords? And that came from Gary Bailey. And to be honest with you, because they go Nassim Muhammad, aka Get Fit or Die Trying. What's up, homie? All right. So again, question number two, and he's one. He asked one of these questions too. I'll let you know when I get to your question, Nassim. But okay, so what material would I recommend for theory and chords and stuff like that? To be honest with you, everything is on the internet now. This is not like it was back in the days, um, where you really had to go buy a book and do this and do that. And there's nothing wrong with doing that, but it's like everything is. I mean, you have the information. I mean, it's like the internet is the best place now. Um, and people who the channels that have instructional videos. The one that I know is like he's the bomb is what's it, gospel musicians. What is his name? I know this guy's name. He just posted a video earlier today. What is Jamal Hartwell? That's his name. And his YouTube channel is Gospel Musicians, and he has DVD and stuff like that. Where that I mean, this guy is really good. You want to talk about the king of piano tutorials and all that stuff? You need to check him out. Check out his YouTube. It's just called Gospel Musicians. Just type in Gospel Musicians and any stuff that he has. I don't know if he has any books, but I do know he has DVDs with different series. So that's definitely a good way to go. But just go on the internet and I would recommend, okay, if you want to learn music theory, then obviously you start with the very basics. Start with the treble clef and the bass clef. Learn the notes on the treble clef, learn the notes on the bass clef. If you're interested, I may try to put a video together. Um, I do have, well, this I'll wait till I move down because I have a question further down that will address that. But I would say, man, use. Oh, his channel is simply called Gospel. Let me see if I can get you a link to, because he just uploaded a video. So let me just go to my notifications. Someone was asking about Jamal's channel. I'm gonna show you right now. I'm gonna go hit Gospel Musicians. He just uploaded something 3 hours ago. Hold on. What I'll do is I'll put the link right here in the chat. Okay. Okay. Paste and all right, there it is. That's his what I just put. Look in your chat window. That's his that'll take you right to his page. And like I said, he has some stuff online too, but then he has great DVD series. Like, I mean, dude is like the king of piano tutorials on YouTube. He was doing this. I almost want to say back when I was in diapers, but we know YouTube was not here 41 years ago. So, but nah, that's the king of it right there. So, anyway, let's move to the next questions. It says, do do I give lessons? Is the first question. Now, this gentleman name is Reggie Walker. He asks like three questions. So the first one is, do I give lessons? Yes, I do give lessons. I've even attempted to do online lessons with one of the subscribers. I don't know if I see her in here. Um, and we did it for a few, for maybe a month or so or whatever, and it worked out fine. So yes, I do give online lessons. I haven't promoted, I haven't pushed it, so I don't have anyone yet. But if you're in this chat and you're interested in doing online lessons where it's one-on-one online, the only thing I say, you need to make sure you have a webcam that you can point towards your keyboard. It doesn't have to be pointed perfectly like my keyboard is, but something that where I can see your fingers and I can see your piano. If I can see your fingers and your piano, then yes, I can we can do online lessons and we can discuss um the fee and everything for all that. So if you're interested, yes, the question is yes. Let me see anybody else say something. Cortez Smith didn't have a tutorial on Dynasty Adventures in the Land of Music. Okay, I think you asked me that question. I think I answered it. I have no idea what that is, or anything. So no, I did not. And he said you thought you saw it on my channel. It definitely wasn't on my channel. I have never heard of that. Mitch Soul, hey, what's going on, man? How you doing, dude? That I'm just gonna say Pookie Jenkins. 'Cause I don't want to use the N word, but what's up, Pookie Jenkins? When you're learning a song, oh, okay. Hold your questions to after I get through my Patreon people questions. I got they get the priority with the questions, but hold that question, copy and paste it. And when I ask for additional questions, I got you, Pookie. I got you, dude. Um, do I have any videos that teach how to play the piano? Actually, yes, I do. And that's something. Let me see if I can put the link. Now these videos that I made these videos before I had a proper setup, like the way my stuff looks now. My videos look now. This is before that, but these videos, even though it's not, is from back in the day when I didn't have the setup. Is I have a whole series on beginning piano players. I think I call it piano theory or something like that. But I have a playlist, and I'm clicking now to find it. Hold on, and I'll put the link to the playlist, and definitely go through that playlist and check it out. If I can just remember how to get to my playlist. They keep changing the YouTube site. Did that get on y'all nerves? It's like every time you get used to something, then they switched it to. They keep changing it up. Okay, like videos, show more piano preview of piano and introduction. I think I'm almost where I'm looking for. Uh oh, I got it. I found it. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm getting ready to post the link. Copy. Okay, let me do this. Link to my videos on how to play the piano. Um, All right, check the chat box over there. This is I think how many videos is it? It is five different videos. The first one is introduction, half and whole steps and letters on the keyboard. So if you're brand new to playing the piano, that you definitely want to start with that video. I'll show you the easiest way to be able to figure out the letters of the keyboard and what a whole step is and a half step is. My second video is called Major Scales, how to figure out all of your major scales. The third video is how to figure out all of your relative minor scales. The fourth video is about major chords, major seventh chords, minor seventh chords, how to figure them all out. And then the fifth video is chord inversions, okay, once you learn how to play a chord, how to play them different ways, how to play the chord, like in first inversion, second inversion. There she go in halls. I don't know if you was here in halls, but someone would ask the question if I give lessons online, and I said I don't see the person who I actually did that with. That's the person right there in halls. So you can ask her if my online lesson. She we actually had some one-on-one lessons with music theory and stuff. So you can ask her, in the chat. I'm just saying, how she felt, if she thinks I sucked or anything. But yeah, she's the one. She's the person that actually did get some piano lessons one-on-one. But anyway, okay, Cortez again. I know you keep asking about this Christopher Ward. I don't know the song, and I definitely didn't have a tutorial out for that one. Okay, so click that link. Like I said, that's a playlist of these are videos of me not doing piano tutorials, as in how to play a song, but actually how to play the piano itself. All right. And he says, what is this is Reggie Walker's last question. What is my approach to learning a new song from scratch? Dum. Everybody like, okay, we want to know, how does he learn all those songs? This man got like 400 or 500 videos. What is my approach to learning a new song? So y'all really want to know what my secret is, huh? Y'all want me just to tell you my secret of sitting down here learning them songs? Whew, a lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot of energy. That's the reason why the tutorial requests sometimes can be a month, two, or even longer to get to, just because there's so many requests and there's only so much time in a day. And I'm not just an online musician. Right now, I'm actually working at two churches because I'm filling in for a friend that just had back surgery at one of my older churches. And so I'm filling in for him, as well as the church where I am, so it's like it's a lot of work. And for those that don't know, I'm a music teacher. So on Monday through Fridays, I'm in school teaching kids and, music and math and other stuff too. So it's like if y'all take all that into consideration, preparing for two different churches, teaching and having to do all that stuff, and then try to do this online YouTube thing and everything. It's the reason why I ask people to go to Patreon and pledge, your support. If you're not familiar with my Patreon, I'll put a link to my Patreon. Hold on. And I'm only asking, like, if you can just do just $1, that's all I'm saying. $1 a month. If you can do more, that's fine. Um, I hope I type it right, because I gotta type the link manually because I don't have it anywhere close by. Uh, Hold on. Okay, I think that's it. Somebody click that link and let me know if I typed it right. But but yeah, if you want to support, because what I would like to do, I would love to be able to do this full time and really be able to dedicate so much more time to doing tutorials and other stuff. Y'all notice I've been doing a lot of covers with people, having people, and everybody who you've seen me do a cover with, I've never met them in life ever. Okay, this is done online, using a couple of people use a certain app called BandLab, and other people's, they record their vocals and they mix it down and literally email it to me as an MP3 file, and then we go from there. But anyway, if you would like to support, there's about 90 plus people on Patreon that's supporting monthly. So do that. Like I said, $1 a month, and that will give you access to some videos. I do have some videos that's not available for the regular YouTube audience to see. I need to start building that back up, so y'all will probably start seeing me upload previews of tutorials again, because I got to make sure that I represent my Patreon people, that I have to give them some incentives and thank them for you know s- you know supporting me, sending in donations in that aspect. So you'll probably start seeing videos like that again, where it's just you'll only be able to see on Patreon. But let's move on. My approach to learning a new song, okay, from scratch. Okay, here's the first one. This is the easiest way. The easiest way. Okay, they said the link works. Okay, cool. Oh man, somebody talking about Till We Meet Again by Kirk Franklin, man. I love that joint. I love that song. I love that song. What was it? Was that May His peace be with you? I can't remember how to play it, but I have the sheet music somewhere around here. But anyway, um, okay, let's. So when I get a request for a new song, the very first thing I do, usually, I would say 99.9% of the time, when I get a request for a song, it's for a song that I do not know how to play already. I don't know how y'all manage to request all these songs that and I mean, I'm talking about songs that I love. It might be a song that I love. Like, oh man, I love that song, but I never learned how to play it. You know what I'm saying? So some kind of way, it's very rare when someone say, "Hey, can you do this song?" And it's like, "Oh, I can play it already." Okay, yeah. But anyway, so the very first thing I do is I go online to see if there's sheet music available for it because I do read music. So for me, that's the easiest thing. If there's sheet music for it, and I'm gonna say this about sheet music always have errors in it. Most of them, there's always some type of error in it. Okay, yeah, it might be one or two chords that's wrong or whatever, but most of it's usually right. So do you realize how much for me I can just look at the sheet music, I can play through and wherever I can where I hear I'm like, oh yeah, that can't be right. Okay, I'll figure out just those one or two chords, but that's it. So if there's sheet music, oh my goodness, I just knock it out. Um Now there's a lot of songs out there that does not have sheet music. So that means I have to go into what I call the unknown. Now, I've said this on videos in the past, and y'all might not believe me, but it's the truth. I am kind of new still to learning how to play by ear. Why already, if those who were at the beginning of this stream, I already talked to you about how I taught myself how to play the piano. I taught myself how to play the piano based off of music theory and getting sheet music. That's how I taught myself. Every time there was a new song I wanted to learn, sheet music, and that's how. And so, of course, when you do that for years and years and years and years, that's how you do it. And it was only, um, I think 2010 was the first time I uploaded a tutorial on YouTube. Now, this is just me uploading like one tutorial every other year. This was I wasn't seriously doing it, and it was Sweet November by Troop. And I figured that out by ear, and I shocked myself. But I just sat down and that was my first experience ever trying to play by ear. And I'm gonna tell you the thing that I do is when I have to play by ear, um, I always try to. Oh my man, Walter John Kelly. My man is in the room. Oh, Anthony A. Major. Oh man, that's my homie right there. Man, these two people right here, man. Oh man, these are some major supporters right here. Oh yes, A. Major and Walter John Kelly, man. What's going on, y'all? But I, man, those my peoples right there. Walter John Kelly. Y'all have no idea how this dude supports me. But anyway, okay. When I'm listening to a song to learn it, the first thing I listen for is the bass, whatever the left hand is doing, that bottom note. Why do I listen for that first? I listen for it because that's always the foundation. That's the foundation of the chord. So let's say I'm listening to the song and I'm the only thing that I can hear usually first is what the left hand is doing. Usually most songs got a bass line on it, even if it's a keyboard bass or a real bass player. So I'm listening to for what the bass is playing. So let's say the bass is playing a C. That's what I'm playing right now, C. Now, okay, so once I figure that out, that usually just takes a couple of seconds. That's just a couple of seconds to figure out the left hand. Okay, so it's a C. So now once I know that the foundation chord is C, there's only a certain amount of chords that will work with a C in the bass. Obviously, what's the first one? The first one that might work is what? C major, right? C, E, G. Or it could be C minor, which means I'll take the third of that chord, which is E, lower it to E flat, try to C minor. And then, of course, you can always add the minor seven. You can always do dominant seven. There's just certain chords that go, especially in R&B, a lot of R&B music, and even in a lot of gospel music, it's just certain chords that go with that bass note. So I start there and then I'm listening. A lot of times I'll take a song if I know it's a lot of chords in it. If it's a lot of chords, it's like it's different if it's a song that only has four chords in it. You know what I'm saying? Or six chords, okay. But if it's like a real song that's really drawn out, I'm going to download a copy of it, and I'm gonna load it in one of my softwares that I use to produce music with, and I'm going to actually loop a certain section of it, and I'll listen to it, and like I said, I'll start playing around. I'll major, minor, uh, dominant seven, and I'll try to. And then sometimes you got chords where it might be a C over F chord, so you might have F major and it's over C. But while there's still a lot of chords, it narrows it down. It's like because there are so many different types of chords out there. So once I figure out the first chord, I'll figure out whatever the first chord is. I have my word processor. I have two screens down here. So this screen right here that's holding my webcam, that's my main monitor, but I have another monitor. On the second monitor, I use WPS because I don't spend all that money on Microsoft Office. It's unnecessary. WPS is free and it does everything that Microsoft Office does for free. And I've never heard y'all complain about the documents, those who get my chord sheets. They look just like Microsoft Word. But anyway, so WPS is what I use for that. And I type that chord in. I say, okay, the first chord is C major. Okay. I type a C major, then I create the little slash, and then I figure out the next bass line. Oh, the next bass line is F. Okay, so either we're going to be in a F major, minor, minor seven, dominant seven, whatever. I'll figure it out. Then I type that next chord down. And now I'm like, okay, what's the third chord? And really, that's the trick. That's the trick for me. A lot of people, do I know what people, you have a number system. For sure. It's great to know the number system. But a lot of times, but if you get yourself so stuck into the number system, got to use the number system. I've actually had people ask questions before, like, I looked at your tutorial and it doesn't really like, well, what's the number? Like, what's the number system? I'm like, sometimes the songs are just not going to always follow the number system. So I look at each song individually. I don't look at it as a number system. Now, if I'm listening to the song and it's certainly falling into a number system pattern, okay, that does make life easy. If I know if I'm going to do, oh Lord, we praise you. Oh Lord, we praise you. I was thinking the other day about the joy that came my way. A song like that falls into the number system. So okay, if you're trying to learn how to play a song and it falls in the number system, beautiful. Use the number system. That song is nothing but 1, 4, 5, and 1, and that's the whole song. That's literally the whole song. I'm in key of B flat right now, so what I'm doing is I'm playing a B flat major chord. That's the 1. Then I go to E flat. That's the 4 in B flat, right? And then F major is the 5, and then I go back to 1, which is B flat. That's the whole song. And the song goes up. They in that song they change the key over and over again, right? So when they change the key, you go to B major. B is 1, E is 2, F sharp is 3, B is 3, and then they change the key again. Okay, C major is 1, F is 2, G is 3, and it doesn't matter what key the song is. So yeah, I I want to make sure that you understand. I'm not saying that not to learn. This mic stand keep falling down on me. Hold on, let me see if I can tighten it up. Hold on. There we go. Let me see. Okay, there we go. So I'm not saying don't learn the number system. Definitely not saying that. What I'm saying is that don't hold so tight to that number system that you're trying to figure out, I can't figure out how to play this song. Well, why can't you figure it out? Because it's not following a number system. okay if it's not following a number system, just learn it. So, but I treat each song individually. I don't treat it as a number system unless I clearly hear a number pattern. I have to hear a pattern. If it's not a pattern, I literally take it one chord at a time. And like I said, we have software, we have music software that we can now use. Even some of the stuff is free, I think. Like the free version, even the free version of some of the music softwares, you can take and put an MP3 in it and just loop a section. So take 4 bars and loop those 4 bars and just figure it out. And just like I do, that's the reason why I do chord sheets. I type out each chord one at a time, and I literally go through the whole song. That's why it's a long process. And but a lot of people say that my tutorials are so accurate. That's part of the reason why they're so accurate. It's real simple. It's because I'm not treating it as a number system. I'm treating it as a song. I'm treating it as an individual song, and I'm figuring it out one chord at a time. So I see some people have made some comments. Let me see if there's anything I need to see. Let me see. I just want to say how amazing. Thank you, D Flash, man. I appreciate it. Uh oh, he said D Flash 77 say he's a low key House of Jazz student. It's all good, man. This is the remix 305. Shout out to Walter and Anthony for their major content. Yes, man, definitely, definitely. KMJ. Oh, my niece said, "Uh-oh, you know how who might be listening." Hey, yo, that's an inside joke. That's an inside joke. I'm not gonna yo, KMJ man. All right, that's an inside joke. We're gonna keep that between us, all right. Proud Patreon, Piano Key 14. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for supporting me on Patreon. Definitely. Walter said these chords are hard for me, the C over E flat and F over B flat, etc. Yeah, but you know what though? They're hard for me too. I'm serious. Like they're hard for me too sometimes because some of these songs I'm playing chords I've never actually played. Like I'm putting chords together and sometimes and but it's actually I'm learning a lot. Like when y'all give me a song, especially when it's music that I don't even know and I never heard, and it might be outside of my genre of music that I personally listen to. And but it's like I'm learning, these new, and I'm like, wow, I would have never put this and that together. So now it's like, so it's definitely a learning experience. So hopefully like if y'all use my piano tutorials for that to just even if it's a song you don't know, you might want to go through the tutorial and just look at some of the chords I'm playing because you'll be it's like I've been playing the piano for over 20 years and I during these tutorials I've probably learned more new chords than I ever learned. So no doubt about it. No doubt about it, man. Was learning music theory hard for you at first? To be honest, I'm supposed to be doing my Patreon questions first, but that's Anthony A. Major. Y'all check out his channel. Check out this dude he's a bad keyboard player, and he's been doing it longer than me. And his channel is probably about 3 4 times larger than mine. He has an audience, y'all. Check him out, Anthony A. Major Russell. So I gotta give him the, you know what I'm saying. He been on YouTube longer than me. He doing this thing, but to be honest with you, music theory never was that hard for me. It was fun. It was fun for me. It wasn't that hard, and I was in high school, so I had my music teachers were great. They were phenomenal, man. So it wasn't that hard for me. So that's my approach for how to learn a song from scratch. It really is one chord at a time, one chord at a time. And then I type it out. That's the reason why I started offering my chord sheets because thanks to y'all, I have hundreds of chord sheets now. So if y'all like, if I have, let's say I wind up having to play one of these songs that I've learned for you. Let's say I have to do a wedding, and I have to play a song at a wedding. I don't even have to look for the sheet music anymore. I'll just go look for my chord sheet. So I might can't remember how to play the song. No, I don't. It's like if I learned the song a year ago and I've learned 100 songs since then, of course I'm not going to remember how to play it. But if I pull up that chord sheet, bam, I pull out that chord sheet. And that's the reason why I started offering them because I'm like, chord sheets are great. It's the only way that I could play some of these songs it's like if you ask me if you pick one of my songs from one of my tutorials and say yo, House of Jazz, can you play that song? I will look at you and be honest and tell you no. However, let me pull up the chord sheet, and if I pull up the chord sheet, listen to the song one time, I can play right along with it. And then by the second time I'm playing it, I'm playing the song. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we're gonna move on. Number four. This is Naseem Muhammad, aka Get Fit or Die Trying. He is in this chat somewhere. DJ Gary, what's going on, man? How you doing? All right, let me get to his question. How do I prioritize all the music I do? And he's talking to like an example, the stuff I do on YouTube, what I have to do for work because I'm a music teacher, church, and of course I do production too, minor production. Right now, the most production I'm doing is the stuff that you see on YouTube, like when I do the covers and stuff. It's like the artists, they do the singing, but once they send me their vocals, I do everything else. Like I produce their vocals, and I do all the mixing and all that stuff. If there's any editing that needs to be done to their vocal or whatever, I do all that. Usually, but I work with good singers, so there's some good singers. So I'm like, it's not much I have to do, but yeah, there's a lot. How do I organize it all? Here's the true answer. I don't, and that's my problem. I really, got, I really got to get it together. When I first started doing tutorials and the tutorials were coming in, I was able to knock them out because it wasn't, almost immediately because it wasn't so many that were coming in. I would say it was earlier this year. I mean, back in January, I think I was still caught up with everybody. And then February of this year, oh my goodness, when I tell y'all, all of these requests were coming in. And I mean, it was like nonstop. Before I knew it was like 30 songs, 40, and I'm sitting there like, oh, once that happened, I lost all organization because I was like, how in the world am I supposed to learn all these songs and still work a full-time job? And it's like, so I've actually had to give some refunds back and just tell people, I just can't do it. And whatever, whatever. Most of them are cool with it. They understand because when you send in a donation to have a song done, trust and believe there's probably 20 to 30 other people that have sent something in. So it's like if I don't get to it quickly, and sometimes it might be 3 or 4 months, and then you see it, I just hope you understand that I'm one person with no help at all. I have to learn every song that I learn on my own. If there's not sheet music for it, it's going to take me even longer to learn because I actually have to take a few hours if it's something that's like I said, if it's 4 or 6 chords, nah, that a couple minutes and I'm good. But if it's a song that's like a song, it's like I'm only one person. So I just hope y'all understand that. Oh yeah, Walter Kelly's he definitely has every chord sheet I've ever done. He says it's like having your own fake book, basically a R&B fake book. And he does have them all. He has them all because he purchased like a big bulk of them like a year ago. And then from then on, of course, he's a Patreon supporter. So he gets, for those who don't know, if you go to my Patreon and you pledge $5 or more a month, every time I upload a new tutorial, you automatically get the chord sheet. You don't have to send in a $3 donation. And I don't care how many videos I do that month. You might get 20, $25 worth of chord sheets that month, but you only paid $5. You know what I'm saying? So that's how. So yeah, he gets it. I can't remember. Your first son motif was like, I remember one of your tutorials. You were like, y'all know I can't remember all of these songs, right? That's the truth. There's no way, no way. All right, so Naseem. So to answer your question, how do I prioritize? I honestly can say I haven't. I need to get something in place. He had another question. Oh, how do I organize paid tutorials? He was asking if do I put them in ABC order or something like that. No, it's not ABC order. I just do the best that I can and just get through them. And like I said, sometimes you'll get like it might be 4 or 5 requests, and all 5 of them have sheet music. So of course, in my mind, I'm like, it's better to get 5 tutorials out there and off the list than it would be for me to maybe sit down and learn one song. It might take me 5 or 6 hours to really get a song down to where I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable, click and record. And then now only be one song, but I'm like, so sometimes I might choose the 5 songs that have sheet music and say, well, let's just get this because that takes my list from this much to this much. As excuse me, opposed to just doing one. I can't do that all the time because even the ones that I might have to sit down and take 4 or 5 hours to learn, they have to get up there too. So I never really say too much on the videos which ones they go lyric Alexa, yo, my daughter's up in this house. Y'all see my musical daughter. If y'all haven't seen it yet, I just uploaded a video this morning of her doing a cover of Sade with me playing. So that just was uploaded on my channel this morning. Check her out. Go subscribe to her channel. That's my daughter in music. She was the first one to ever upload a video of her performing a song she learned from me, and that video is on her channel right now. So definitely Lyrical Lexa. She's in the chat. Just click on, subscribe. She's gonna get some more videos up there real soon and some original music she's working on too. So what's up, Dada? Next question is PL. He's not in here right now. I know he works some crazy hours though, but if y'all been on my channel for any amount of time, you already know about my boy PL is right. I know about P. What do I? That's Mr. Jodeci. You know what I'm saying? That's Mr. Jodeci right there. So he had to throw a question in there. So his question was, "What have I learned so far on Devontae's chord structure?" Of course, he's going to ask about that. I'm sure he'll look at the replay of this, but woo, Jodeci, man, Devontae, those chords. I don't know if I can say what I learned. I can tell you what I think about him. Amazing. Man, when I was learning all those the first Jodeci song that the first Jodeci song I ever learned, this is back in the day, I was still in high school, was Cry For You, because the same guy that bought the on bended knee sheet music for me, I think it was him. He found Cry For You. And sheet music back then, $2-3. That's all. He was just like, yeah, man. I was still a teenager. He was just like, man, just take it, man, take it. It's all good. And so that one, but that song only had just a couple chords in it. So it wasn't one of Devontae's normal songs that had a whole bunch of chords in it. And long story short, with the some of you have seen my Forever My Lady uh piano tutorial, and that was I think that's the tutorial in my mind. I think that's the tutorial that took this page and took my channel to like something else. It's like when and that was not PL's, that was just something I did. This is my junkie basement, you know what I'm saying? And on the other side of the computer is where the washing machine and everything, and I literally was down here washing clothes, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to keep walking up and down the steps. I'm just going to sit down here. I'll just fool around on the piano. And now this is the time. This was whatever year that tutorial went up, whatever year, if you can go look at it. Uh that's the day that I was just sitting down and was like, I want to learn Forever My Lady. That was I think I might have heard it on the radio. I was like, yo, let me, and so I typed it in on YouTube. Let me see, Forever My Lady piano tutorial. And it was some couple like one or two up there, and I was like, man, I'm like, it just didn't really sound. And I said, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and see if I can figure this out by ear. Long story short, I shocked myself. It didn't even take me too long. And what have I learned about Devontae's chord structures? Man, his stuff is not, he doesn't really try to be super duper difficult like with his stuff. He throws some nice stuff in there. He throws some jazz stuff, but what I've learned is that even though he has, some fancy stuff in there, he still keeps it simple. You just have to just know some advanced chords. You can't just play a C major chord and an F major chord and think you're going to play some Jodeci. You better learn some major 9 chords. You better learn that Jodeci chord. If y'all ever looked at my tutorials, every time I play this chord, I call it the Jodeci chord. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just click on any Jodeci video. More than likely that chord is in it. Especially Forever My Lady. Go to the Forever My Lady video and wait till I say, oh, this is the Jodeci chord. I might have said Devonte chord, the Devonte chord or the Jodeci chord, but once you, the one thing I can say that I learned about his structure is once you get used, because he was writing for the same, he was writing for Casey and JoJo mostly. Most of his songs are actually written using the same chords, and that's because you have to write in a key that's comfortable for singers to sing in. So of course, if he's singing, writing for Casey and JoJo, there's certain keys that fits their voice, and that goes with every singer on the planet Earth. There's a certain key that you just simply sound best in. So of course, the one thing with Devonte, I noticed C minor and the F minor, those keys and stuff like that. He did a lot of stuff in those keys, and in my opinion, is it has to be because he was writing for them. I didn't. I was learning some other songs. I think I did. It was a Montel Jordan song that I did, and I think P. Ellis, he sponsored it. Listen, girl, I'm coming over, rub your back, massage your shoulders. What's on tonight? That's what it's called. I did not know that was a Jodeci. I'm Devonte wrote that song, but Devonte was in a totally different key. The song, and I'm like, wait a minute, these are not the usual chords. And then duh, it's like he's this is a different singer. This is Montel Jordan, totally different singer. So the one thing I learned about Devonte, I won't say I learned because I knew this already. I really did know that you have to try to pick the appropriate key for each voice. But I noticed that he uses a lot. He makes sure that he writes for the singer that he's working with. Let me put it that way. He makes sure he's in the appropriate key, and yeah. So that's the most I can really say about Devonte though. But now for some lighter non-music questions. This one came from Mr. CJ Music Man, my nephew. And if y'all have not subscribed, why, if you haven't subscribed to his channel yet, why in the heck not? Why haven't you subscribed? He, excuse me. He's in the chat somewhere. All you gotta do is scroll up and down. And his sister is KMJ Bear. They are, well, now she's 14 now, right? So they are 11 and 14 years old, and they're doing songs better than we can do them. The classics, like Luther and all them. Luther, Luffa, Luther Vandross. Because we don't know, black people don't know somebody named Luther. We only know Luffa, Luther. People, I mean, if y'all haven't subscribed to them, you need to subscribe to them. They even have some recent videos up of some of the performances that they've done. And my nephew, he just was on TV like a week ago, in his local TV, and you can see the that performance via his sister's channel. So y'all need to check him out. But anyway, he asked me, what is my favorite color? I really don't know, but if I had to pick, it'll be something like, I guess, I don't know. I can't really say I have a favorite color. I guess somewhere between green, I guess, maybe navy green or dark blue, I guess, but I'm not a color dude like that, you know what I'm saying? So that's the best I could do. Next question was from my niece, KMJ Bear. What do you do outside of piano tutorials? A lot. I kind of answered it earlier, but like I said, I'm a music teacher, so that's one thing I have to do. It's not a full-time music position where I'm teaching music every day. Don't get that twisted, because music is like usually once or twice a week with different grades or whatever. But but I am, one of the subjects I teach is music at the school. So I have to do that, and we have a lot of programs that we do throughout the year, like a grandparents program. We getting ready for a fall program. That's the day before Thanksgiving. Then we're going to have a winter program. That's the day before winter break, and then we have a Dr. King program. So I'm always having to work on that stuff too, finding music for that. A lot of times I produce the music here because it's kind of hard to sit at the piano and play the song and direct kids. And my school literally start at 9 months and go all the way up to eighth grade. It's a private school. So I work with like, but right now we don't have any 9 months. The youngest one is like 2 years old. So I actually deal with kids that are 2 years old, the preschool, 2 to 5 years old. And then I got the kindergarten and first grade and second grade. And we go all the way up to eighth grade. So it's like it's a lot of music that I have to do. So can you imagine me trying to just sit at the piano and direct these little kids? So for me, it's almost I have to sit down here and produce the music, and I got to make it sound fun for them because they're little kids. They like to hear the ding, 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 what is it? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Or you got the boom. I ain't gonna start playing those kid songs I play all the time. But anyway, so that's one of the things I have to do is with work, and of course, church. I do church. So I'm a musician, church musician. So right now I'm between two churches. I'm helping out two churches. Um, I used to play video games. I don't get to do that anymore. I'm old school video games. I like the original Super Mario Brothers 3, but I don't really get a chance to do that. But I just got a NES Classic, the little mini edition thing that came out. I just got one, and I did get a chance to play Super Mario Brothers. I think it was sometime during the week because only take I still can beat Super Mario Brothers. I know this is not music, but I can play some Super Mario Brothers. You know what I'm saying? I saved the princess. You know what I'm saying? But uh I like to watch YouTube, believe it or not. I watch YouTube more than I watch TV. So it's like if I'm not doing tutorials or whatever, and I decide I gotta give myself a break because I'm going crazy, I need a break. I usually don't look at I turn my TV on, but I go straight to YouTube and I look at videos on YouTube a lot. I definitely do that. But yeah, that's it. It's like I don't have a life too much. For those that might not know, I am still, I guess you could say, somewhat recently divorced. So that became legal January of this year. So it's like it's just me. So you know what I'm saying? It's like so I'm able to just kind of put all my energy into just just music, music, music. But sometimes I gotta take that break. And when I take that break, I usually turn on YouTube and I like to look at videos of the dudes that do the classic video games that like to talk about the classic video games. I love that. I could just look at them talk about Super Mario Brothers all day and not get tired of it because I can play some Super Mario Brothers. 41 years old, I still can save the princess. I saved her a couple days ago. You can ask her. I saved her. I jumped on that thing and that bridge went back and Bowser fell into the thing and I went and it said thank you Mark. That was me. It said thank you House of Jazz for saving me. Okay. All right. Next question. uh, I'm joking. I know I'm saying I'm being comical, but I really did beat Super Mario. I'm not joking about that. I did beat it. I beat it a couple days ago. What are my favorite movies? This was either Mr. CJ Music Man or KMJ Bear. I can't remember which one, but my favorite movies. I think the number one is probably still the Five Heartbeats. Oh my god, I can't. I didn't even see it when it was out in theaters. I don't even know. It's like I want to slap myself. I mean, I was alive and well. I don't know why when it was out in theater, I never saw it. But man, I think I don't know if I saw it on TV first or if I just saw it and just bought it on VHS. VHS for those back in the days before there was DVDs, you had a VCR and you had this big old block that we called a VHS tape. And I know I had owned it. I think I saw it on TV first, and when I saw it on TV, it's like I had to go buy it so I can look at it whenever I wanted to. I think I taped it off TV, but then when I saw it in the store, I said, "Oh no, I want a professional copy." It is something about that movie. I don't know what Kanan Ivory Wayans and Robert Townsend what they were smoking or drinking when they wrote that script. A lot of people don't realize that Kanan Ivory Wayans, yeah, from In Living Color, the guy that created In Living, he is the co-writer of that movie with Robert Townsend. Don't believe me? Just look at the beginning of the movie and see when it says written by. But you want to talk about a classic, classic, look, 1, 2, 3 classic, man, the Five Heartbeats. Other movies that I love is the Jacksons movie. It's called The Jacksons: An American Dream. I owned that on DVD, and then I made a digital copy and put it on my hard drive that's connected to my NVIDIA Shield. Yeah, I have an NVIDIA Shield connected to my TV, so I can stream YouTube and do all that other stuff too. Watch stuff. Well, I don't do that anymore. Watch the movies illegally. Like you go, what's those things? A Cody and all that stuff. You used to just be able to just watch whatever you want. I'm like, nah, I need to become legal. Need to do things the legal way. But yeah. So yeah, the Jacksons movie, loved that movie. Boys and Men had a little cameo in that movie too, on the part one of that movie. But anyway, the Temptations, no doubt. Temptations, no doubt. Temptations. Yo said Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Yo, I love that game, man. I never could beat Mike Tyson without cheating using the game genie. But let me get back to my question. Um, um, Temptations, and oh man, the new one, the new classic, no doubt about it. I guess you can say the new two, but the one, I mean, the new edition movie. Oh my goodness, yo, new edition. That new edition movie was like, I'm like, man, and most of the stuff that happened in the movie I was aware of because I'm a big new edition fan, and I've always, like, in recent years on YouTube they've been telling a lot of stuff that happened, so it was a lot of stuff that we didn't know when like when any let's say when the Any Heartbreak album was actually their current album, we didn't know stuff that was going on, but in later interviews they have started talking about some of that stuff. So, but it was still a lot of stuff in there I didn't know, like Ricky Bell. And y'all know, I don't know if y'all know, Ricky Bell real name is Ricardo. Ricardo is Richard in Spanish. That's how you say Richard in Spanish, and most of y'all know my real name is Richard. So I really relate to Ricky. I'm like, yo, Ricky, you did the drugs too? Oh my god, I had no idea. But yo, that's my movie too. um Movies that's not music related, but one of my top ones is Coolie High. And I know Boys and Men's album is called Coolie High Harmony, but the movie itself is not a music movie. But I love Coolie High. Um, I've watched that movie. I don't know. It has to be easily 50 or more times. Just I love that movie, Coolie High. And if you go to TV shows, Good Times. If any of y'all on my Facebook, and there's a link to my Facebook, and it's not I created a House of Jazz Facebook page, but I haven't done nothing with it. So like the link that you see on my YouTube channel, like if you go to my YouTube, the front page of my YouTube, that's my personal Facebook. Like my sisters are on there, my nephews. I mean, this like my real biological family and my extended family are on there. But you'll see that I like to post clips of good times and stuff on there. Sometimes I love good times. I love what's happening. Rerunning them. You know what I'm saying? um, what brand of keyboards do I like? This was my niece, y'all. This was KMJ Bear, my niece. What brand of keyboards? Yamaha, Yamaha, Yamaha. That's just me. That's just me. When I first became like a serious keyboard player, and I wanted to, or somebody put Cold Cheese. Oh yeah. Nah, I seen put Cold Cheese movie. Oh, First Sunset, every black person know the whole movie life. Y'all know how it is. Oh no, lyrical Alexa, she was like, nice like this. I wish raindrops would fall. That's the Five Heartbeats, baby girl. She was asking, was it the Temptations? That was actually on the Five Heartbeats. That was on the Five Heartbeats. Yes, the person who wrote Coolie High is the person. His name is Eric Monte, Monte. Eric Monte. He wrote Coolie High, and then he wound up creating Good Times with the guy Damon Evans, which is the original person who played Lionel Jefferson. I don't know why I'm telling y'all Good Times history, but yeah, the very first Lionel Jefferson, and the guy that wrote Coolie High created Good Times. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good people. Good people. Um, what was I talking about? Oh, keyboards, Yamaha. Now back in the day, For some of the ones that might be around my age, you remember that the keyboard they have was actually the Korg Trinity and then Korg Triton. They came out with the Trinity first and Triton. Now, I never had those keyboards because I was still a young cat. I did not have two, three, $4,000 to drop. And to be honest with you, I probably can't really afford to just drop that now. I mean, I could drop it, but if I dropped it, I'll probably be like, um, how much more do I have left in the savings? But anyway, but no, but I used to go to Guitar Center and we had a store called Musicians Planet back here. I think they called it Mars back in the day. I used to just play on those boards for like an hour, just go through all this. And, oh, it was so beautiful. But w- I don't know. I wasn't I didn't follow Korg once. Yamaha came out with the Motif. When the Motif board came out, I was like, yo, I'm done. This is it. And to this day, I know they have the montage out and it's supposed to be the next level. But I don't get a chance to go sit in music stores anymore. So I haven't really checked it out like that. It's funny that one video that y'all saw me in the music store and I ran into somebody that actually knew me. That was crazy. That was just a rare thing that for me just to go into the store. And the dude is not even from Baltimore. That dude live in Delaware, but he's a bus driver. He drives coach buses, and he just so happened to have just dropped off a group of people and did a Google search for the nearest music store and just figured, well, he'll just go to a music store while the people do what they have to do. And voila, I walk into the store. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't get a lot of time to just, I don't spend a lot of time in music stores. So no, I haven't had a chance to fool with the montage, which is the new flagship keyboard. But Motif, man, I swear by that. So yeah, Yamaha is the thing for me. Um, what recording equipment slash software do I use the most? Okay, that's cool. This microphone right here is the main microphone I use to record. Anytime you hear me, well, I record my tutorials with this, but when you hear me doing covers or like when I did the duet with Lyrical Alexa, and I did a duet with my niece KMJ Bear. I've even done one with my nephew because we did "There's Nothing Better Than Love." I've done some. So every time you hear me singing, this is the microphone. This is the only I've had this microphone since 2002. I might know a dude in the business name, a producer named Daryl Pearson. He used to be Jodeci's guitar player and he's produced a lot of stuff. Like he produced some songs from Mary J. Blige and Total back in the day. Casey and JoJo Fee Fi Fo Fum. If y'all like that video, that song Fee Fi Fo Fum, what that dude, he's actually in the. That's you know what he's. If you look at the video for Fee Fi Fo Fum, halfway through the video you'll see this dude with a guitar sitting like in the windowsill playing. That's Daryl. But anyway, he's from Baltimore. He's from Baltimore, and for a small time, I used to be a keyboard player for him because he was trying to do like a gospel group or whatever. And then his brother married my sister, so we actually have two nephews that we're both uncles to. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't seen him in a while. But yeah, but he was the one that when I first started working with him as a musician, he was like, everybody in this band need to be producers too. And y'all need to go and invest because everybody in here should be writing songs too. And he gave us some stuff that we need to get. In this is an old microphone. I don't even remember what it is. It's an Audio Technica. That's all I can tell you. But I've had this since 2002. And the thing there's a little dent right here from traveling because I used to do some mobile recording at Morgan State University. I've done 2 years. I taught there during the summertime at a college, and I guess I dropped it. But guess what? That was years ago. This is the only mic I use. So that equipment wise, I don't want to move everything. Can you see that? No. If I pull this out a little bit, can you see? This right here, this is my sound card. I know you can barely see it. It is PreSonus Audio Box USB 96. That's what it's called. You can get this sound card if you catch it on sale, it won't even cost you $100. That's what you're listening to me on right now. And when I'm recording my tracks and everything and I'm recording my vocals, that's why I'm using a $100 sound card. I do have this one, and I probably might start implementing this one again. This one has more inputs and stuff. It's just sitting to the side. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. This is out, but you can't. This is out of print now. Like you can't buy this anymore. It's Tascam. I know it's like mirrored, but it's a Tascam. I think they have a newer version of. You can't get this version. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this. I may eventually. This right now, this sound card is just doing what I need. This was actually maybe $200. So this was actually more, and and I have two inputs on the back, two inputs on the front, and all these controls the levels of all the inputs, headphone level and volume. I got MIDI. I can do the old style MIDI connections with this. See, nowadays everybody do USB when it comes to MIDI, but this is the old. I have a bunch of old keyboards. So if I want to do a severe like a hook everything right now, all my keyboards are not hooked up. But I would, definitely this yeah. But so that, and then the software, this thing right here. Hold up, let me turn it on so you can give it a little good. This thing right, oh y'all can't really see it, but anyway, this is a 3080. This is a Roland XV 3080. It's basically the brain of the old Roland keyboards. But the XP, you remember the XP 80? They back in the day, Roland had the XP 10, which was 61 keys. The XP 30 was like 76 keys or something like that. And then the XP80 was like the 88 key version. Well, this thing is a sound module. So this is all the sounds from that keyboard. And instead of it giving you as a keyboard, they give it to you in a box that's called this is what we used to get back in the day, y'all. Sound modules. You had to get DX7. It's like DX7 sounds in it too. I see First Son's motif, and he loves the old keyboards because on his videos he have those keyboards there. But like he has a DX7. I have the sound module that has a lot of DX7s in it. He has the actual keyboard. I seen it in his video. Time you got to do a mic check. Next time you got to do a mic check. What are you talking about a mic? Well, everyone can hear me okay, right? Anyway, can you do more? Okay. I'm not sure what you mean, Dipster. What's going on, Dipster? He's comments on a lot of my videos. What's up? I don't know what you mean by doing a mic check, but okay. But so sometimes if this thing have certain sounds in it, I have expansion cards in it, and I have like an orchestra card in it. And if I'm really doing like a for real production, I will go here for my strings. I have it's an expansion card called Orchestra 2. Yo, those strings are crazy. It's like, and I'm like, I just wire it, make sure that I take the output of that and just input it into my sound card, and then I just record that. But I don't use it every day. Um, I have y'all seen my Yamaha Mo 6 is in my keyboard bag right here. You see where that little it says Bill's Music inside that bag. I had a gig with it back in May and I never unpacked it. It's still in the bag. I had to do a live gig with this band that I was working with. And so it's still in there. It works just fine. It played the gig and everything. Um so Yeah, so that's but this is it. This is my microphone. That's the sound card. That's the only sound card that the one that I showed you is the only sound card I use when making production and recording my vocals. I use a $100 sound card. Um Software. Okay, I am in the three softwares that I have licenses for, and like I own them legitimately. I have Reason 10. So by Propeller Head, Reason 10. Um, I have Studio One by PreSonus, the same people that make that sound card. I have that. So PreSonus, Studio One by PreSonus. And it's the 2.6 version. I never upgraded because I think they like up to version 4 now or something. But I have Studio One 2.6, the professional version. And then I think I have the new one. I have the artist version because when you buy these sound cards, they give you the artist version of the new version. So like I do have the new version, but it's just the artist version, so it's watered down. But I have the professional version of 2.6 where I can probably do way more on that older version than I can on the newer version of the artist version because there's a lot of features you can't do. So I do have the professional version where I paid full price, or I think they had a sale on it. It was like a Christmas sale, I think. So I probably didn't pay full price, but I got it legally from them. But anyway, and then I also have Cubase. Yo, Cubase 6. Cubase 6. This is old. But Daryl Pearson, remember the one this guy, the one who I said, was Jodeci's guitar player and I think he even has Grammys. He's won Grammys as a music producer and everything. He was like, you got to get Cubase. So this is the same version of Cubase I bought back in like 2000 or something. So I think it was I can't remember. I've had this for a while. So this is an old version of Cubase, but this is what I use. I have to use this. I have to use Cubase with the videos that y'all see when I do the duets when I'm playing, and someone else is singing or I'm singing with them. All those videos are all of them are produced using Cubase because Cubase is the only software that I legally own. Well, I keep saying legally. I don't have any illegal software. I really don't. I don't have any illegal. So, but that's the only software that I have where I can take. What I do is I record the video first. What I'm talking to you, this is my webcam. You can't see it obviously because it's showing, but I use my webcam and I connect it over top of my keyboard, and that's when that's what you see me playing the video and everything. Playing the keyboard. What I do when I'm doing those videos where I'm producing other people and whatever, is I just simply record myself playing the piano first. So I just use my regular screen recorder, the same recorder I use to record my tutorials. It's just a screen recorder. So I don't sing. I don't do any singing when I'm doing those videos. I just sit down and I literally I have one of my so I think I might open up Reason and just have a metronome clicking in my ear so that I can make sure that I'm playing the song on beat, and I just record myself playing it into the computer. So I play the song, okay. I used my bad finger there. I'm like, oh, ouch. I was gonna say like ouch. But anyway, okay. So once I finish playing the song, that's a video file. So it's that's